K, Assistant Professor, Maharaja Institute of Technology, Mysore, Karnataka, India. So, in this particular video, I am going to explain about what is service marketing and what are the major modules that are coming in the particular subject, services marketing. So, before understanding about service marketing, so we know the traditional marketing system. In traditional marketing system, it is very much different than the service marketing system. So in traditional marketing system, our focus is very much on the traditional 4 P's: product, price, place and promotion. Because services are intangible in nature and which is inseparable. The production and consumption happens simultaneously, which cannot be made separate. And the services cannot be stored, but the goods, what we know, the goods are non-perishable and you can make the separation of the production and consumption. So that is why the traditional marketing system with the services marketing system, which is very much different. So coming to the first module, we are going to understand about the introduction to services. So in this particular module, we are going to study about the growth of the service sector in India and difference in goods and services, the characteristics of services, the concepts of marketing triangle and service marketing mix and gap model of service quality. And in the second part of module 1, we are going to study about the consumer behavior in services. The consumer behavior is very much different when we compare with the goods market with the services market. So we are going to study about the zone of tolerance, the factors that influencing the customer expectation of services, the customer perception of services, customer satisfaction, strategies for influencing customer perception. So let us study about the first, I would like to introduce the services. The services are intangible products such as accounting, banking, cleaning, consultancy, education, insurance, expertise, medical treatment or transportation. Sometimes services are difficult to identify because they are closely associated with a good, so which cannot be stored or transported, are instantly perishable and come into existence as the time they are brought and consumed. So what are the reasons for the growth of the services here? So the size of the middle income consumer is rising fast and the percentage of the very poor households are declining. The women are very more educated in a country like India. So they are employed in defense services, police services, postal services, software services, healthcare services, hospitality services, entertainment industries, business process outsourcing and so on. The emergence of the nuclear family system in place of the traditional joint family system that creates a huge demand over the services like education, healthcare, entertainment, telecommunication, transportation, tourism and so on. So in a country like India, IT revolution for the past 15 years in India, so that IT industry is one of the major key business of services in a country. So development of markets during a last few decades, the wholesaler and the retailer population has grown in the country. The manufacturing organization that to have more number of services, because service marketing, the marketing research is going to be conducted, accounting is going to be managed, auditing happens, financial management is going to be happen, human resource management and so on, all of which are service oriented functions. So in India, the birth rate is increasing and the death rate is decreasing because healthcare services has grown up like anything. The growth of fitness clubs, diagnostic centers, medical counseling, health related information sites are reflections of the growing entry of healthcare services. So not only that one, hospitality sector, health services, entertainment, air transport, courier services, which are witnessed due to the entry of multinationals. So there are more number of services in India that offers to various parts of the world like banking, insurance, transportation, core data services, accounting services, construction, labor, designing, entertainment, education, health services, software services, tourism, and so on. So in this particular module, we are going to understand about the difference between goods and services, because goods are different than these services. Because when we talk about the product which is tangible, the goods are tangible, services are intangible. The pricing is very much difficult. See, the physical goods are homogeneous in nature, because when we talk about, so you are going to carry, transport the product. For example, laptop you bought from Delhi, you are using in Mysore, so that it is homogeneous. The performance will be very much similar. But in services, which is not like that. When you are going to the performance of a person, because which is called as an activity, the performance differs. That is why the services are heterogeneous. The production and distribution are separated from consumption in goods, but whereas in services, which is not possible. The production, distribution, consumption are simultaneous process. So the goods are called as a thing, but the services are called as the activity. The core value produced do not participate in the production process, but core value produced in buyer-seller interaction that happens in services. So the customer do not participate in the production process in goods, whereas the customer participation is very most important in the production of services. So the physical goods can be stored, stocked, but the services cannot be stocked. And transfer of ownership is possible in goods, but which cannot be possible. The transfer of ownership is not possible in services. So let us, in this particular unit, we are going to study about service marketing mix. As I told you, in traditional marketing, there are four important P's: product, price, place, and promotion. But in service marketing mix, there another three important P's are added, which are called as augmented P's. So that in service marketing mix, there are 7 P's we have to study. One is product, second one is price, third one is place, fourth one is promotion, fifth one is place, people, the sixth one is process, and the last one is physical evidence. So in this particular unit, we are going to study one more important concept, which is called as service marketing triangle. So which is going to explain us about the relationship between the company with the employee and the relationship from employee with the customers. Got it? So here, from the company with the customers, we call it as external marketing. What we called as making promises. From customers to providers, which is called as delivering the promises, which is called as interactive marketing. From the company to the service providers, which is called as internal marketing, which is called as enabling the services. So which is then in this particular unit, we are going to study the gap model of services. Gap model is very, very important. So there are 4 important gaps we study. One is listening gap, second one is the design and standard gap, third one is performance gap, fourth one is the communication gap. Putting it all together, closing the particular gap. Okay. So in the second part of the module 1, we are going to study about the consumer behavior of services. In consumer behavior of services, so which is very much different than the goods. So where in the goods we can easily understand about the behavior of the consumer, in services which is very much difficult to understand about the consumer behavior, since the satisfaction level, the tolerance level, which is very much difficult to understand and measure. So there are three important properties we study in consumer behavior of services. One is search property, second one is experience property, third one is credence property. Like in consumer behavior of goods, we usually study about the consumer decision making process. So there are 5 important steps. The first one is need recognition, second one is search information, evaluate the alternatives, purchase or experience. The fifth one is post-purchase evaluation. And we study about 2 levels of customer service expectation. One is desired service expectation and the second one is adequate service expectation. So the difference between the desired and the adequate service expectation is called as the zone of tolerance. Whenever this particular gap increases, the tolerance, the customer has become intolerance. So it should be very much minimum so that the customer will be very happy and satisfied. And we study about service encounters in this particular unit and also the model of customer expectation. In model of customer expectation, word of mouth is important, expectation, expected service, past experience, advertising and contact personnel. So in unit number 2, let us come to unit number 2. In unit number 2, we are going to study about the market research in services and STP. STP is segmentation, targeting and positioning. So in the second unit, we study about market research. Market research is very important concept in any different streams. If you take, the market research is very essential. So whether it is goods marketing or service marketing, market research should be there. Okay, so we are going to study the market research and key reasons for gap 1 and the building customer relationship through retention strategy, relationship marketing and the levels of retention strategies, market segmentation, basis and the targeting in services. So in types of, there are several types of service research. One is complaint solicitation, second one is requirement research, third one is critical incidents, fourth one is trailer calls, mystery shopping, customer panel, last customer research, satisfaction survey. Because these are the types we are going to study later stages. So once we know that in research there are 2 important approaches. One is qualitative approach, second one is quantitative approach. Qualitative approach is very much applicable in services because unless goods, services cannot be easily measurable. So that the qualitative approach is very much applicable here. Okay, so in qualitative research approach, so we study about the electronic focus groups, e-surveys, electronic surveys we have to conduct, depth interviews and industrial interviews. So in the relationship marketing is very important here. The relationship marketing evolved from CRM, customer relationship management. So here what happens, so if you are maintaining a proper relationship with the customer so that they are very much satisfied, that particular satisfaction that carries further. So that is the creation of relationship marketing here. So one more pyramid rule we call it as 80:20 pyramid. So in 80:20 pyramid, so 80% of the customers are very much satisfied with the 20% of the customers. The 20% of the customers are pulling the remaining 80%. That is the major significance of this particular rule. The customer retention strategies here, financial bonds, structural bonds, social bonds and customization bonds we have to study. So mass marketing is very important here. Mass marketing is very much applicable in goods or manufacturing products. So micro marketing is very much applicable in services. So in segmentation, targeting and positioning is very important. What is segmentation? We know the segmentation of the market, the dividing the heterogeneous market. We have to club the homogeneous characteristics and dividing equally about the characteristics of the market, and so we are going to apply certain different strategies depending on the characteristics of the particular market. In segmentation, we are going to divide the market in terms of geographic, in terms of demography, in terms of psychography, in terms of volume and in terms of benefits. So in targeting, differentiated, undifferentiated, concentrated market we have to study. And in positioning, market, psychological and positioning approaches we have to do. Okay. So then in the module number 3, we are going to study about the customer defined service standards and yield management. So in customer services, so yield management is another important area we have to study in module number 3, and waiting line strategies, leadership, creation of service vision and implementation, offensive marketing and defensive marketing. Okay. So next is the important areas what we are going to study, especially in module number 3. In module number 3, there are two important standards which are called as hard standards and soft standards. Hard standards can be measurable, but soft standards are very difficult to measure. So, and when coming to the managing capacity constraints, time is the constraint, labor is the constraint, equipment is the constraint and facilities are the constraint. And when we come to the next part in this particular unit, which is called as optimal versus maximal use of capacity, equipment or facility, labor or time, primary capacity constraints. We are going to study how to optimize the capability of the services. So then we are going to study about the balanced scorecard. In balanced scorecards, a particular service provider should manage the financial measurements, operational measurements, customer measurements and innovation and learning measurements. So the strategies for matching capacity and demand, we have to, so a service provider should recruit the part-time employees. The second one is cross-training the employees who are existed in the organization. So you have to increase the capacity through customer participation, use of subcontracting. You need to give a contract to others for working out the particular services, sharing of capability, stretch existing capacity, modify or move facilities of the equipment. So these are certain strategies to matching capacity and demand. So then coming to the wait line strategies. So waiting line, that is very much common in services. If you are going to see in railway station, you are going to see the waiting line, hospitals, the government organizations and all. So there are certain strategies that are very much applicable to manage the demand. That is what we call as in the peak hours. The more number of service providers are very much needed, so that employing operational logic, reservation system, you differentiate waiting customers, making waiting customers at least tolerable, which are going to be studied. And in the yield management, so how to yield the maximum benefit from the existing services. So you need to understand the booking patterns, you need to understand the segment specific buying patterns, you need to understand about the price changes impact, you need to understand about the distribution channel management strategy. So coming to the module number 4, we are going to study the employee role in services and customer role in services. So the employee role is very much important here, because the service employer is not very much interacting with the customers. Employees are very much interacting with the customers. So when you are going to interact with the customers, you should be very careful. As an employer, you need to give a proper training and development and different facilities you need to give. So you need to empower the employees. So the customer role also we are going to study. In customer role, the importance of customer and the customer role in service strategy, strategies for enhancing customer participation, delivery through intermediators. It's a very important concept here. The third important P of marketing, which says place. Place is nothing but distribution. So distribution means how to appoint the intermediator for your services. So intermediary control strategies we are going to study in this particular unit. So let us see some more information in the particular unit. So there are certain classification of service employees here. So more number of interacting customers, types of service employees, because the fifth P of marketing, what I told you earlier, the people. The sixth P is process. So there are different processes that are existing in services. So there are several stages. At each and every stage, you are going to see different types of people who are working. So you need to work out how they are trained with the other stages and all, and frequency and length, boundary spanning roles, boundary spanners, the process of interaction between a customer and the employee, which is called as boundary spanning. Emotional labor. Certain employees in a service, they are very much affectionate and lovable, and they are very much showing mercy on the customers. They are called as emotional labors. Certain conflicts also arises in the service areas. Person with the role conflict, organization client conflict, inter client conflicts, and there are certain strategies for closing gap number 3 here. You have to hire right people, and you need to develop the people to deliver service quality. You need to provide the needed support system, and also you need to retain the best employees. How the customer role is important in this particular unit. The customer role in services is very, very important. So there are certain types of customer roles like consumer, co-performer, co-creator, and co-designer. So certain strategies we need to study for enhancing customer participation here. So you need to define the customer jobs, recruit, educate, reward the customers, manage the customer mix. And when we come to the intermediators, they are presented in services because you cannot produce and store the services. Intermediators are very, very minimum in services. So the characteristic shows that one. The agents and brokers, they acts as an intermediator for services. Franchisee operators are there, and electronic channels. In the later stages, we are going in depth about the intermediators. When we come to the strategies, the control strategies, empowerment strategies, and partnering strategies we are going to study. So coming to the module number 5, we are going to study about the marketing communication in services. So we know that in traditional marketing, the fourth P is promotion. You need to communicate the information to the necessary people. Not only the internal people, but also you need to communicate to the outside market, the customers especially. How the communication, the promotional technique, that is very much applicable in services, we are going to study in unit number, that is module number 5. So we know that a very common promotional technique like advertising, sales promotion, direct marketing, public relation, and personal selling. These 5 important techniques also applicable for services too. And so the pricing of services we are going to study. The second important P, the pricing of services. In pricing of services, very important, the non-monetary cost that is very much existing in the services. We are going to study the ServiQual model in this unit. So mini project also conducted on measuring ServiQual. So in marketing communication, we know the internal communication and the external communication. So internal communication and external communication happens with certain strategies. You need to make oral communication, written communication, face-to-face communication, online communication and media communication. There are certain reasons how the gap 4 has created, because inadequate customer education, inadequate management of customer participation, inadequate management of service promises, inadequate internal marketing communication. There are certain categories for strategies for matching service promises with delivery. You need to manage service promises. You need to manage customer expectation. You need to improve customer education. You need to manage the internal marketing communication. So this is about the communication part. When we come to the pricing part, pricing is very much difficult in services, which is not like goods. There are variables, there are a lot of variations while fixing the price for a particular service, because which depending upon, since service meant for customization, for the customized way of processes that may lead to the fixation of different prices. There are 4 important approaches, especially we are going to study about the prices in the unit number 5. The first one is cost-based pricing, second one is competitor-based pricing, third one is demand-based pricing, the fourth one is value-based pricing we are going to study. So one more important concept in services which is called as non-monetary cost. The first one is time cost, search cost, convenience cost and psychological cost we are going to study. The last part of the unit number 5 is called as ServiQual model, or we can call it as Rater model, or ATER. R for reliability, second A for assurance, T for tangibles, E for empathy, R for responsiveness. So in coming to the unit number 6, the last unit in service marketing, which is called as physical evidence in services. Physical evidence is very important in services, because unless until you are not showing the intangible into tangible, so which is only possible through providing the physical evidence. So in servicescape, we are going to study about the types of servicescapes, approaches for understanding servicescape effects on behavior, guidance for physical evidence strategies. So next is the physical evidence provides the tangible cues to customer roles. We know that the physical outlets, interiors, exteriors, machineries, furnitures, vehicles, stationaries, signboards, communication materials, certificates, receipts, the service personnels, their dressings and all, which are called as the physical evidence cues. So we are going in depth and about the elements. What are the elements that are presented in physical evidence? The physical environment, the modes and the content of communication, the price of the service is also called as the physical evidence, the appearance and conduct of service personnel, and the tangible elements accompanying services and brand also considered as the physical evidence. So certain strategies you will find. What are the important physical evidence strategies here? The recognize the strategies, strategic impact. What is the impact of physical evidence? And you need to identify, you need to clarify the roles of the servicescapes. You need to assess and identify the physical evidence opportunities. So be prepared to update and modernize the evidence and work cross-functionally. So when we come to the servicescape is also called as the physical appearance where the service is produced, which is called as servicescape. Here, servicescape usage, complexity of servicescapes, typology implications we are going to study, and also we are going to study about the roles of servicescapes: the package, facilitator, socializer, differentiator. The servicescapes acts in these 4 roles. So there are certain approaches for understanding servicescape effects. The one is environmental effects. You have to make an environmental survey to understand what is the servicescape effects. And direct observation. When you are going to observe directly, you are going to understand how servicescapes are. And there are certain companies, there are certain organizations, there are certain service organizations. They are going to make more number of experiments so that you are going to understand about the servicescape effects. The final one is the photographic blueprints you need to make. So finally, we are coming to the end of the unit number 6. We have brushed up about the units. I have gone on the surface of each and every unit. When you are going to study the service marketing subject, one can understand about the various concepts and importance of service marketing. You can enhance the knowledge about emerging issues and trends in service sector. You can learn to implement service strategies to meet new challenges. Thank you very much. We will meet in the next video.